Today's lesson is using deductive reasoning. This is section 2-1 in your textbook. The essential question for this section would be, what are the different forms of if-then statements and how are they used in geometry? All right, here's an example of an if-then statement. If it rains after school, then I will give you a ride home. Notice we have an if portion, if it rains after school, and then we have a then portion, then I will give you a ride home. The if portion is the hypothesis, the then portion is the conclusion. Here's another example. This is more related to geometry. If B is between A and C, then AB plus BC equals AC. Again, notice we have an if portion. B is between A and C, and we have a then portion. AB plus BC equals AC. So remember, the if portion is the hypothesis, and the then portion is the conclusion. Now, if-then statements can also be referred to as conditional statements or simply conditionals. Now, a converse is formed simply by interchanging the hypothesis and the conclusion. Now, a statement and its converse say different things. In fact, some true statements have false converses, and similarly, some true statements have true converses. Let's look at an example. So let's look at this statement. If Ed lives in Texas, then he lives south of Canada. Now, this is obviously a true statement because every place in Texas is indeed south of Canada. So here's a true statement. Now, a converse for this statement reads, if Ed lives south of Canada, then he lives in Texas. Well, this is not necessarily true because he could live in Kansas, which is south of Canada, but that's not Texas. So here's a case where the original statement is true, but the converse is false. Now here's another example, and this is more mathematically oriented. The statement reads, if 4x is equal to 20, then x equals 5. And you think about it, yeah, that's true. And then the converse says, if x equals 5, then 4x equals 20. Well, that's also true. So here's a case where the statement and converse are both true. So we've got a true statement and a true converse. Now, whenever we have a situation where both the statement and converse are true, they can be combined into a single statement by using the words if and only if to form a biconditional. So these two statements could be combined into the following biconditional, that 4x is equal to 20 if and only if x equals 5. Now, on page 34 of the textbook, do a classroom exercises numbers 12 through 15 and post your answers in the drop box.